Good afternoon, depending on where you are. Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening, depending on where you live, what part of the world you're currently residing in. But you're in luck. You are in luck. And I'm going to tell you why. Do you remember, any of you, growing up playing video games? Anybody besides me play video games growing up? Yes, some of you have continued to play video games, so you'll completely understand what it is I'm trying to say. Check this out. You know, when I was a kid, I used to play video games, and on the video games, they had codes that you could use that would allow you to advance. These games were crazy because they would give you a game, and the creator of the game inside the game left an encrypted code inside of the game that would allow you to literally get some superpower with the game that would actually give you the advantage over the game that would make you invincible, right? How many people remember that? I don't know a game that people played. I remember this code. Up, down, B, A, select, start. I remember that code, but I don't remember what game it was. I think it was Contra. But anyways, check this out. The reason I'm going to talk to you about that is because when you were young, even Super Mario, whoever played Super Mario, remember Super Mario? You get the star, and it'd get all crazy, and you'd be invincible. You'd be able to wipe everything out, and super fast speed, and all that stuff. All those different things. Well, the reason that you felt a certain way when you went to go play those games is because you knew that you had the code to have the advantage. And think about this. Now, in life right now, I'm going to make sure that you have the code to have the advantage to life. I'm going to make sure that you have the code to have the advantage to everything you want. I'm going to make sure that you have the code, have the answers, and have the solution to get exactly where you want to be. That way you remove all the excuses. You can no longer blame another person. You can no longer point fingers. You have to take 100% ownership of this. And I'm going to explain to you how, because I'm going to give you the code, same like you used to have the code to the video games. I'm just changing it up for you. Check this out. Check this out. So imagine this now. The difference between someone who gets the results that they want, okay? The difference between someone who ends up where they want to be, the difference between someone who has the better life, the difference between someone who goes on that vacation that some people keep talking about, the difference between getting in touch with your friends, talking to your friends, spending time with people, letting the people know that you care about them, letting them know, the difference between someone who ends up with the life that they want, the difference between somebody who ends up with everything they want in life, whether it could be friendships, whether it can be relationships, whether it be life in general, whether it be longevity, whether it be business, whether it be health, whether it be any of those things, the reason is because when you start to play that game, you understand that it's a game. So what if you translated your life and made it a game, and then you gave yourself the cheat code so you could win the game the same way you did with those video games? Check it out. The cheat code is this. Hear me out now. When you play the video games, you got the cheat code because you knew what was going to happen, so you had predictable results. So what about now? How do people in life, and what is the difference between someone who is very successful, someone who accomplishes goals, someone who seems very lucky, someone who is always in a good mood, someone who does what they say they're going to do, and the person who doesn't? See, the person who does what they say they're going to do, the person that ends up with what they want, is the person that makes their mind up in the beginning, that makes their mind up from day one, from the start. They've already decided. In their mind, they've already envisioned what their body's going to look like. They've envisioned what their arms are going to look like. They've envisioned what their chest, their abs, they've envisioned what vacation's going to look like. They've envisioned what that meal's going to look like. They've envisioned what that book is going to look like, what that song is going to look like. They envision what all of those things look like, and they get in a state of mind as if it had already happened, or if it's happening. So imagine you going to the gym. Oh, check this out. I remember when I was young and I got my first car. My first car that I was driving, I was already in that car, and many of you may do this. I was envisioning the car that I really wanted. I was envisioning the car that I really would be driving in, even though I was in a different car. Does that make sense? When I played sports, I envisioned scoring touchdowns before I was even in the end zone. I envisioned throwing touchdowns to particular people. I envisioned running the ball, doing things a certain way before it even happened. So now imagine this. As I'm driving in my old car, right? As I'm living in my tiny apartment, as I'm wearing my fake necklace, right? All those things. I'm like, man, this is nice. I was just imagining it being what I really wanted. So I was in that state of mind already. When I was driving the car that I had, not the one that I wanted, I was envisioning having what I really wanted. When I was doing anything, everything that I was doing, I was already imagining it. I already pictured it. So check this out. What if you could literally get in that frame of mind, that winning mindset? See, that's the difference. A lot of people don't have that winning mindset. A lot of people don't have that confidence. So that's why you see people that are so consistent or so focused on their dreams, or you talk to a success story, you watch a success story. They always talk about what they had to go through in order to get there. And people wonder, well, how did they keep that same mindset? How did they keep that same frame of mind? How did they keep going? How did they stay focused? You hear a success story, somebody say, man, I did this for 19 years. I did this for 20 years. And then to you, they're an overnight success story, but they've been doing it their entire life. They've been putting everything they have into it for so long that they got good at it. See, successful people can do really simple things very great. All that means is that we're committed to figuring out these small things and executing them over and over again, failing over and over again consistently, longevity-wise, because we've already made up our mind. We've already pictured the outcome. We already know what our dream house is going to look like. We already know what our dream vacations are going to look like. We know the conversations that we're going to have. We know the type of friends that we're going to be around. We've already figured out all these things in advance. We're already in that state of mind. We're already living there. Metaphorically speaking, we're already living there. We just haven't transitioned there. We just aren't there. So we are capturing what we want. While most people don't even start. Why most people give up. Why most people are not consistent. See, imagine like when you were young getting the Mario Kart. Who remembers Mario Kart? The little cheat codes you can get for the Mario Kart. Imagine the cheat code you can get for Super Mario's. All these different games. What if you started treating your life like that? Right? And you just started to think, man, I have the code for this. So imagine the people who had the code for something. Imagine how much more confident they would go into that. It's like dating somebody. What if there was a girl that you really liked and her best friend really wanted her to be with you? Or for a girl, vice versa, and that person said, hey, if you want to get with them, you should just do this. You'd be like, oh my gosh, this person just told me how to get with that person. I have the code. Now I'm going to go up to this person, you know, whatever your preference is. You could go up to that person and say, hey, here you go. And you give them this or that. And when you give it to them, they're so excited about it. They're so motivated or inspired by the fact that you gave it to them, but you had the upper hand. So how to have the upper hand in life is by knowing what you want and getting in that mind frame, living in that space, having that energy long term. And so when you fail, right? When you fall flat on your face, and it's going to happen, when people tell you no, when people don't support you, when nobody believes in you except you, when everybody's counted you out, when everyone around you who started with you quit, when everybody who said they're going to do it is no longer doing it, you're in that frame of mind the whole time. See, the difference is they said that they were in that frame of mind. They were acting like they believed it, but they didn't really believe it. Because if you believed in what you truly wanted, you would already be there before you were there. You would already have the feelings. And let me tell you what, and I'm going to end with this. See, when you believe that much, when you want what you want so bad, I can promise you that you're going to work harder, that you're going to do more, that you're going to believe. And when you show up, everything that you wanted is going to be 10 times better than what you thought it was going to be. So when you show up, when you get there, when you arrive, your life is going to be actually better than you had anticipated because you had worked harder. You had more stickability. You had more vision. You had more focus. And you managed your time and your expectations because you understood that it was not a sprint, it was a marathon. And there's a lot of sprinters out there. So check this out. I hope you like this information because my time is up. But listen, if you got something out of this, you don't have to say what I said. You don't have to come up with this. You don't have to look as fly as me today at home, looking fly at home. Anyways, you don't have to do those things. All you have to do is share this information with somebody else. Let them be inspired. Let them be inspired. Pay it forward. Go to my YouTube channel, grab this video, look at it, and if the words that I'm saying are connecting with you, send it to somebody else because you don't know how it's going to affect their day. You don't know how much better they'll feel. You don't know how grateful that they'll be for you to give them this information. And guess what? You didn't have to say it because I'm already saying this. I'm already doing the work for you. So let's pay it forward. Go to my YouTube channel. Go to my Instagram. Subscribe to me. Like me. Let's take this thing viral. Why? Because if I win, we all win. All right, ladies and gentlemen, that's my time. Mr. Over Millions, sir. Take care. How do I end this thing?